All right, hope everybody's doing well. What if you get hit with a drill evaluation? What if it's a no notice? Well, I got some tips and tricks in order to set you up for success. First of all, in the very beginning, you need to be aware of what stand eval hits people on for drill movements. So usually, like I would say, a drill 1, I would see rarely a drill 2, a drill 3 class, maybe close and extend while marching, possibly. So when I was a young rookie, what I used to do is I used to teach all of it and just get familiar with it. Try to teach it to myself in the day room, so that when I try to apply it with my flight, I would try to do it kind of verbatim, but really, really fast, in order to stay familiar with the actual movement itself. Also, what I used to do is I used to actually try to act it out to make sure that I knew exactly what they were supposed to be doing. And as you act it out, those words come back to you as you explain it to the flight. So just say you got hit with 2 to the rear. Hey, you have 1 hour. And I know they don't do this 1 hour thing anymore. However, we teach it all the time. So we get hit with 2 to the rear. The very first thing I would do is I would say, hey, teamie, teach my flight 2 to the rear real quick. While I go upstairs and I start studying the verbiage. Very first thing I do. And then I'll tell my teamie also, hey, make sure that you position the flight in line formation with their backs facing the sun. Have everything grounded to include their weapons and their water bottles. And make sure they're in a place where that the MTI can be seen and heard. And then I'll tell them, hey, go ahead and take your iPad out there and just position it 6 paces from the flight. Kind of have it centered because that's the most optimum view. And get ready for me so when I come downstairs, I can already meet with the evaluators already. I can tell them they're on the drill pad already. And boom, we just hit out there. It takes the pressure off you. And we also do this for blue rope competitions. You get the flight ready. You got a team that's ready to go ahead and teach this flight so that they respond and they perform very well, which is what you're judged on greatly on. How effective were you? So I did it for some of my people. Back in the days, my people that ended up getting blue ropes, they knew that, they put me on their team. And I love teaching drill. So, I love teaching dorm too, but drill, I love it. So that's one of the things I do. Use your teamie. Use your teamie. Use your teamie. Also, be aware of the flag conditions. So say it's cloudy outside. Look and see, hey, wait a minute. It has a 50% chance of rain. All right, we're gonna prepare this under the overhang. But hopefully you have enough situational awareness where if you're doing it to the rear, you might want to apply it. You're going to apply it in all 4 formations, but I would apply it in line and inverted line, because if you're underneath the overhang for an arch and T, you don't have that much space for columns unless you reposition them, but that'd be weird. So I would line, inverted line, inverted line. I would do it a couple times like that, over and over and over again, because it's going to rain or whatever like that. Now, if it's going to be thunder or lightning, hopefully Stanty will have enough situational awareness to cancel the evaluation. Just all that is very important before you say, hello, my name is. Also, being able to study before, like I mentioned before, makes a big, big difference. So just being aware of the common mistakes will help you work on those weaknesses for your application. And keep note of the weaknesses so that when you do your weaknesses and strength, you can kind of recall and what's the root cause and all that kind of stuff, so you can reach that. Oh, another thing that I would encourage you to do is, hey, look, you want to be really teaching to the blue rope. Teach the blue rope something, or teach the evaluator something. Teach the section chief something new. Like, for example, for change step, I have 3 hole impressions. So I'll give the first 2 views, of course, and in the 3rd view, I talk about the purpose of change step, which is to get back in step. So, and I'll be out of step, and I'll call the command of change step, and I get back in step with my cadence. So it doesn't matter what view I use, but it helps me to establish the purpose so they understand why you should use change step. Because if you don't do this, then they don't know when to use change step. So I kind of add that as an extra tool to sharpen their understanding of what I'm trying to present for that particular class. So just keep that in mind. as soon as you set your stuff out, you want to make sure that you're loud enough. So here's what I do. When I start, every time I transition from like maybe the prelims to attention, I'll move. So I'm in the middle. Hello, my name is blah, 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 blah. And then I'll move maybe towards the front of the flight where the element leaders and guiding bearing are. And I'm going over the attention step. And as I transition to motivation, I might go back to the middle again. Then I might go back to where the dorm chief is a little bit and give, use my stage. Because a lot of times we don't know what to do with our bodies when we're teaching, especially when we're new and we're nervous. And it's okay to be nervous. Use that nervous energy to be exciting. So you take that excitability that you have for that nervousness and you just project it out. And in turn, to me, it helps me calm down. Because I get excited too. I don't get fearful. I get excited. Because I want to do a good job. I have pride in myself, but I want to kill this class. So I try to make sure that I transfer that excitement to being a little bit more animated, not unnatural. Just more, force with my words, I'm talking about my enthusiasm, but also, making things sharper, inflecting more in my voice to hit the goal home of what I'm trying to say. So I want to hit it home, especially when you're mentioning core values. You want to hit it home so they can apply it to everything they do when it comes to core values or supported foundational competencies. I hit those hard. I try to be really excited about it. And as you're teaching, remember, so far, I always memorize my drill classes. I don't know if they got rid of it yet, but you can ask a question if you forget a verbiage. You be like, hey, what is the command execution that I'm going to say so that you can actually perform this drill movement? And as you break stage, you go look at the next line. Somebody answers your question, and you say, hey, this training directly answered my question by saying blah, 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 blah. So these are things that I think that you should do to be able to recover in a very smooth way. Don't pause for a long period of time. Just know that you just don't know it. And just kind of look. The lesson points are there. So just kind of look. Boom. And don't read directly from it if you can help it. I don't know if that's a thing now. Anyways, I'll move on. Always learn from your experiences. So just say you don't do as well. Now you know what you need to work on. Now you know how you need to be sharpened. And remember, your evaluators, they have core values. They're not there to fail you. They're there to evaluate you as objectively as possible. So just say you didn't do a good class. Find a rehabilitation process for you to get better. So say, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't practice enough. It's been a long time since I practiced. I should have been practicing in the day room or whatever like that. Hey, can I do this class for you? Can I do another class in the future so that you know that I care? Just be real with your section chief or your leadership or your MDC or whatever the case is, so that they know that you're humble and you want to get better from here. And it's good to be uncomfortable because it's going to make you better if you're humble about it. So hopefully you learned a little bit about how to prepare for drill, how I use my TV for drill, and how to get as much out of it as you can, what you need to do. So I always do this. I have one more thing. Hey, look, try to hit all the key things and make it as obvious as you can to the evaluator so they don't miss it. Because sometimes, even as an evaluator, I've evaluated a lot of classes. And the reason why I get better and better and better is because I'm evaluating over and over and over and over and over again, and I can hear and see what people are doing wrong. So I'm equipping myself. So what I want you to consider is this, is that not only teaching as much as you can and making things obvious to the evaluator that you're hitting certain marks, but also evaluate other people. So that's why I like having 2 and 3 students. I like students to learn how to evaluate so they know what they're going to be evaluated on. Keep that in mind, please. All right. Well, that's all I got. Love all your faces. Until next time. See you then.